Welcome to the Taniesha Westbrook Show, where we're breaking down the hottest stories in marketing, branding, and business. And y'all, today is going to be very special because, of course, I got my girl KPZ in the building. What's up, KP?
Hey y'all,
How you
I'm,
doing today?
I'm good. Ready,
Uh,
ready to eat dinner, but
oh,
I'm good. I'm good.
okay. And I do have some news. So my girl Dr. T could not join us today because she had to go be great. Okay, with her business, but I have a special guest. Are you ready?
What's up? What's up? Shout out to my braider. Woo!
Okay. My husband Greg Westbrook is joining us today and I'm super excited about this. So oh, and I'm the braider, by the way. I'm the braider.
Yeah.
But how y'all doing? How's your week been going?
It's we're halfway through Wednesday, and I'm ready
Mm-hmm.
for the weekend. I want to let my hair down this weekend, hopefully.
I know that's right. I know that's right. What about you, Greg?
It's going well for me. I think this month of January is kind of interesting. This is like the time of year where there's like not really a time frame on the days of the week. So I'm just, it could be Saturday for all I know. I don't know. I'm working every day. We, we out here.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like, last week was super hectic, and then this week I've been trying to take it easy, but child,
You are always trying to take it easy.
right.
Put that on the calendar.
I'm
No
gonna
comment.
do. You said no comment. All right, so let's get into some things, y'all. Now, it has been a busy few weeks. So I'm excited to get into these stories. But before we do that, let's start with being real. So we're starting this kickoff of our show with Let's Be Real. And I have a question for y'all. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a hot seat question. And I'm going to start with you, Kenya. What do you think currently, like right now in the landscape, what is the biggest mistake that you feel like most entrepreneurs are making right now?
Hmm. I I would say not having a strategy to cultivate and store leads. So making sure that there is a plan to engage with your target audience, reel them in, but also keep them engaged and informed with your business.
Okay, okay. What about you, Greg? What do you feel like most entrepreneurs like what mistake are they making right now?
I'd say the biggest thing right now is not asking for help, not getting the resources that are available, and just not being coachable, teachable, not learning the craft.
Now
So
she
they're
said,
just
he made the
they're
list.
winging it.
Right, I was about to say he went down the hall. He
You
broke
gave
it down.
one. Tell us how you really feel.
You know what? I guess I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I would say if I had to think about like no. I'm not gonna piggyback. I'm gonna say the biggest mistake that I feel entrepreneurs are making right now is not having the right mindset going into entrepreneurship. Like they're buying into this instant gratification culture. Like, you're excited when you start your business, everybody's supporting you outside. I'm selling products, I'm making coin. And then when things get tough, and you have to adapt and change, like the mindset shift isn't there. So you thinking it's gonna be easy, you thinking it's gonna be sweet, and you get in for a rude awakening.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. All right. So moving on into one of my favorite parts of the show is marketing tea. So we're about to get into these stories. Are y'all ready? Uh,
Yes. Let's
now
go.
we're gonna start off with something a little bit as my girl KP like she just said, a little bit ghetto. Okay. So we're gonna start off with a little
Sure.
bit of ghetto-ness. Now, recently Popeyes and Don Julio did a brand partnership. And like last week they hinted at it, right? They were like, something's coming. So everybody thought that Don Julio, you was gonna be able to buy some Don Julio at the Popeyes down.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that.
But when they released the campaign today, um, we found out that basically you can get a limited edition meal. So this is like, is I guess football season, the Super Bowl, all that
Super
coming up.
Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, so Popeyes got these wings and they have this sandwich, and apparently the sandwich, like the meat, is soaked in what do you call it? Tequila? Is that what Don Julio? I don't even know what
Don
Don Julio.
Julio Reposado, yeah, tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been soaked in a little bit of tequila. And that lemonade that y'all seeing right there ain't no liquor in that. That's so people were disappointed. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think that this is genius marketing, or do y'all think that they missed the mark? What are your thoughts, Greg?
I love it. I mean, I know that you can't get the Don Julio at Popeyes, but as Ludacris said, chicken and beer, this ain't much farther off than that. And you can basically, just make two stops on the way home when you go into the Super Bowl party. So I love it.
What about you, KP?
I'm a little disappointed that I can't get some Don Reposado. For those that know me, that is my drink of choice. Reposado specifically. I would have been 1000% sold if you told me I could pull up the Popeyes and also order me some Don. But I think it's going to likely be a hit. People are gonna be curious about it, and they'll give it a try. I think it's a great way to kind of test the product and get some hype during a high engagement time. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we're starting to see more brand partnerships with unorthodox, non-traditional people coming together. So I would not have expected, a tequila brand and chicken to come together, but everybody was excited about it. So I'd say that Popeyes is moving in the right direction as far as how they're presenting themselves to this like the new wave of buyers, or this generation. Millennials, we're making up majority of the buying power now, and then you can have Gen Z right behind us. So people were hyped. They was done Julio out. So I think it
They're
was
gonna be
good.
they're gonna be waiting in line with the Don Julio bottles on top of their head.
And then whether this whether people love it or hate it, it's going to have folks talking about Don Julio and Popeyes. So I think that it's going to ultimately be a marketing win. I do have a confession. I have
What's your
never
confession?
ever eaten the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Me either.
I
Me
do not.
either. Now that I think about
Oh,
it,
You,
okay. Well, I
Tanisha,
got
you're
one.
not a chicken sandwich person though.
I'm really not. Like, don't be
Love
telling
it.
my life now. Don't be
I
telling
love a
my
chicken.
life. But yeah,
It's
I'm
going.
I'm not really into the. Now I've had some good Chick-fil-A sandwiches, but it's too. I'm not gonna say that. I was about to say it's too much meat, but it's just with the bun and it's just a lot going on.
A little
Speaking
much.
of a lot going on. We're gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about who this. I'm trying. I didn't know a better way to segue into this, but um as far as doing too much, because this week has been a lot of doing too much with the new president and administration. But before we get into what's going on with that, let's talk about. I have this video to play. Do y'all know who Ellie takes Ellie Talks Money is? Y'all know who that is?
Yeah.
I gotta get my light out the way. God, Lee. It's just even more in a way. Okay, there we go. So she is like a big Instagram um influencer, and she covers like financial literacy. Well, she recently did a video discussing how the administration is basically rolling back all of the red tape when it comes to AI. And they are starting this thing called the Stargate AI Initiative. So let's listen to what she has to say, and hopefully, this
order about AI and its risks. And here's why this is important for your business. So we know with this administration is that AI is important and is going to take more space in our lives. You as a business owner, when it comes to getting funding, when it comes to getting investors into your business, when it comes to growing your business and really ensuring you can be on the cutting edge, you need to be incorporating tech and AI. We can see that projects and businesses that involve technology and involve AI are going to get more attention, more money, and probably more customers. Now, if you don't have a business yet, consider starting a business that is AI consulting or AI services. Learn as much as you can about AI right now, how you can include more AI into your current business. The fact of the matter is, this is going to be a huge part of our next 4 years.
Ooh, chair.
So, what do y'all think about this? Um, so I was saying that so Trump and his administration, they're really going to start putting money towards AI and technology. And I know that as business owners, and I've talked to a lot of creatives, like they're not feeling this AI sweep that's coming in. But do you all think that business owners should follow suit to what she's saying as far as integrating it into your business? Like, what do y'all see? Do y'all feel like AI will be a necessary tool moving forward, whether you're an entrepreneur or not?
I think it's interesting. Like, this is kind of like the space race. She talked a lot about the administration of the US. So, like, the space race back in those days, we were racing Russia to get to see who could be on the moon first. So now it's like, who can create the most AI stuff first? And so I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I think that integrating it into your business is definitely a good idea. I'm not really sure how much further than that it's going to go until we get like robots and that type of stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, similar sentiments with me. Because at the end of the day, AI gets its information from humans. Like people have to be feeding the system's information for it to grow and evolve, and so AI is only going to be as good as the information that's available to it. Um, so I do believe that business owners should be keeping a pulse on what's happening so that they can understand how it may impact their business. And if there are ways, there are AI resources that can help make their businesses run more efficient and more effectively, to just be kind of learning and just keep a pulse on the news, because I do think it's going to impact folks in certain sectors. Now, I wouldn't advise people to just run and just go adopt all AI things, because another thing that we're seeing happening in the tech industry is how ever changing and evolving and volatile it can be. And then if you put all your eggs in one basket, in this one trend, this one thing, um, if something happens and it goes away, your whole and that's what your business is depending on, your whole business can collapse in the blink of an eye. Especially something as underregulated as AI is.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Like, um, Greg, this does remind me of, the race to space, and like Kenya, what you said about just being open minded to um what what the direction in which we're going. I find that people are afraid of AI. So what I would suggest is, if you're a business owner, or you're leading a team, right? You could be leading a marketing team, you could be leading a project management team. This is the time for you to get ahead of the curve. And like Kenya, like you said, um, people still are needed, because we are in a way part of the brains behind the operation. And so I think this is the best time to buckle down, to focus on how can you best utilize AI in your business, and automation. So for someone like me, I use AI every single day. I use chat gpt, I use automation tools, like Zapier. I use automation tools for email and text. So I think this is a way for you to really start to get ahead of the curve. And don't be afraid of AI. I would say, just don't be afraid of it. Um, it's probably going to take some people's jobs, but you need to be the one, that's going to be the person that's running the AI versus it running you away.
This is just a coincidence
So
about not being afraid. Like this is just a natural progression of technology, right? Like this has happened before, from the dawn of the internet to the phone to television, radio, all of these things. And I think this is just another step in their progression. And the best way to not fear it is to just get educated about it.
I agree. So speaking of technology, TikTok had us all up in arms last week. Now, TikTok was shut down. People were crying on the internet. People were sad. So I saw a not a TikTok. Well, before TikTok went down, this girl was talking about how TikTok shaped her to who she was today. Okay, so so TikTok left us, and then it came back. And now what really got me was, you know, the company that owns TikTok also owns the software CapCut. And as a business owner, I use CapCut quite frequently. And I pay for the pro subscription. So when it went down, I was like, wait a minute now. Y'all just gonna take my money like this and dip off. But now TikTok is back. Now CapCut is back. But my question to you all is, in the face of these platforms changing and evolving and going away and coming back, how can business owners prepare for the changes in landscape?
I think it's kind of like what Kenya said earlier. I look at social media as a place to gather leads. And so if you're not getting, people's email addresses, people's phone numbers for text messaging and that type of thing going on, you never are really going to be able to own any of these social media platforms. And so what you can own is data. So use the platforms that are available to gather data so that you can still be able to contact your customers no matter what social media platforms go away. I mean, even before this, we've seen Instagram, Facebook shut down for several hours. And I never really thought TikTok was going to leave anyway for good. This was just a political ploy. So we've seen what happened.
Yeah. Same, Greg. I think that this is just a prime example of we talk a lot about like diversifying. This should be a lesson because there was so many people crying about this is how I make my money and like, oh, what am I gonna do? One, there was a world pre TikTok. There will always be a world post TikTok. Um, and this, if nothing else, should be a lesson of TikTok should not be your only source your only stream of income, and it should not be the only way that you're reaching your audience. No one medium should be. Like, you shouldn't just be doing email. You shouldn't just be using any of the other social media platforms, because Greg is right. We don't have ownership of any of these things. And at the end of the day, all of this stuff is technology based. Technology malfunctions, right? It's rooted in all types of systems, data breaches, all types of things that could happen at any given moment. And so, in addition to leveraging it for like data and information on your prospective leads, people should be downloading this information on a regular basis, like having it backed up somewhere in the event that the owner just decide, I don't want to do this no more, and shut it down just for, for no reason at all. Like, they don't have to have a reason to shut TikTok down or any other platform.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of that data and progress is lost.
Yeah, you know, TikTok is actually not my go-to platform. We don't use TikTok. It hasn't been a major source of revenue for us. Um, so we use other platforms like Facebook and Instagram. However, like both of you have mentioned, those platforms can go away at any time. So the lesson here is that you are using not just social media to bring in business and to grow your brand. You're also using um so a technical term for this would be like you're using an omnipresent strategy, or a strategy that includes social media, email, text, even old school print ads, guerrilla marketing. You handing out flyers, you're building relationships that are in person. Um, all of those things work together to help you grow your brand and grow your business. So it's important to not just what people used to say, put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, we're not going to do that in 2025. We are going to spread our wings and make sure that we show up on multiple platforms, but also use the other ways to get business. Now, do y'all think that businesses should start moving back to like focusing on their website? Because a lot of people don't even have websites. But what? Look at look at Greg's face. What do y'all think it's important for businesses to shift back to bringing traffic to their websites to own that data?
The website is yours. I think it's wise if you have a business, um, where that makes sense. Like, if anybody is solely dependent on any one of these social media channels to like completely run and operate their business, I don't think that that is wise, because again, it's going back to what you said. See, like, ownership, you don't own that, and data is a hot commodity right now. Like, people want to launch wars over data. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think whether it's a website or something else, hell, even a Google form, you should have something that is yours, that belongs to you, that you have access to be able to source your prospective clients or leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking like that. Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was looking like that. This is a hill I'm willing to die on, and I think that when it comes to having a website, this is something I've argued with people on social media about for years. And I think in general, even though like Instagram and TikTok have all these platform, I mean these ways, resources where you can actually sell on the platforms, you still need to have some way to be able to make those sales if those platforms are down, or if they're malfunctioning, or if you get kicked off for some reason. There's all kinds of restrictions going on. Maybe you might cut somebody out and you get kicked off the platform. So then what are you going to do? So I think in general, make sure that you have your website up so that if anything goes wrong, you got a plan B.
Mhm.
Right. So I want to shout out Shamika Gordon. So she says, thanks, great discussion. I just use AI to write my performance evaluation at work, as well as my goals for the coming year, and I'm starting to appreciate it. Also, as a business owner in the insurance industry, AI is necessary to keep up. And she said, "Have a great evening." Yes. See, y'all got to start using this technology for the greater good. Don't be afraid of it. And like we're talking about with TikTok and all of these other platforms, don't just be too reliant on it. There's a fine line.
Yeah.
So
It's a, like, oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, T, but just like adding to what you were saying, it's a tool. Just like how the typewriter came to evolve the way that we document things, how jump drives, all like AI is just another tool that we should be leveraging to help make our businesses run more efficiently.
yes. Um, there's no good way to segue into this topic, but y'all know we have to talk about it. Um, so Trump has been writing executive orders left and right, child. He just like, you get an order, you get an order.
We're gonna
I
call him
had to
47.
go. You said what?
We're gonna call him 47. I'm not giving his
Okay.
name no type of
Please, please.
publicity.
Oh, but I will say, speaking of publicity, wait, speaking of publicity, 47's branding has been impeccable. I have to say that, y'all. So when you open TikTok back up after they left, it said thanks to 47 for getting this platform back.
It's
Okay.
not branding. That's
If he
propaganda.
ain't done if he ain't done anything else right, y'all, him and his marketing team have to be geniuses, because the marketing that they've done for his campaign, and to make sure that he's taking credit for things that no other president has taken credit for, it's impeccable. It's
But see, I want to
impeccable.
make I want to make sure that it's clear. Like that specific instance, that was propaganda. That was like a very specific political strategy because he wasn't even
Hmm.
the president at the time. Like when that happened, he
Exactly.
hadn't even been inaugurated. Um, but I digress. So we can, go ahead and bring up this topic so I can get say what
But
I
that's
got.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's all a strategy. Like, it's all a strategy. He was the person that put the scrutiny on TikTok, and now he's getting credit for bringing it back. I'm just saying, if you're gonna learn anything from 47, learn how to use the marketing strategy that this him and his team have put together. Okay, so now, speaking of 47 and to these executive orders, he has rolled back major DEI initiatives. Um, he's put some pauses on federal grants and loans and all types of things. And corporations have been scrambling to make sure that they don't get penalized for their DEI initiatives. So you have companies like Target, right? Um, who they're rolling back their initiatives because they don't want to get penalized. So this is did y'all see the video of Tabitha Brown where it was a silent video, so she was just making faces at the camera when Target decided that they were going to do away with their DEI program? Did y'all see that video?
Mm-mm.
No. Well, she did a video, and she basically was silent Bob, okay? She was just making faces. And then she came back. She came back online and said that boycotting against Target would hurt black owned businesses, and that would cause sales to drop, right? So you have companies like Target who are rebranding or doing away with their DEI initiatives, and you have companies like Costco, right, who are doubling down on their DEI initiatives. So the question that I have for you all is, what do you think? Well, how do you think business owners can keep? I'm gonna just say keep their head up during this tumultuous time where we're just unsure of where we land. Like I was on Facebook earlier today and I was reading the status of an entrepreneur who was saying that she lost a major contract, like one of her biggest sources of revenue because of this initiative that went away, and how that affected her business. So we know that it's affecting our businesses in tons of ways. But how do y'all think we can navigate this?
I'll share. I think community is just going to be key, just in general, over the next 4 years for sure. But um, the reality is a lot of not just corporations, but even nonprofit organizations, just so many different entities are going to be impacted by this, and a lot of it is going to be rooted in like fear of being able to sustain and to be able to get federal funding and things like that due to the language. I think individuals who've been in the work of DEI, DEIB, inclusion, whatever you want to call it, have always had an understanding that for a lot of different organizations, it's been like a vanity metric, a vanity thing, or something that they were doing just because they were required to. And oftentimes, the people who were benefiting the most from a lot of these initiatives weren't exactly the folks who um, a lot of people believe to have been benefiting from it. I'll just say that. And so, um,
Girl, you can say it. Say it. I read a stat today that said that black and brown people made up 4%
yeah,
of the workforce when it came to
yeah,
DEI programs. So we were
somebody
not the major beneficiary. You could say it. It's okay.
we're not, and that was one of the things like we learned it when they decided to roll back the affirmative action into and those of us who have that are black and brown, people of color who have these lived experiences and stuff like the data and stuff is like we know that because we lived it. Like we're in environments where we know that they're just saying it, that it's just a message on the board. It's just something that they say, but that's not actually like the company or organization isn't actually living into those values. And so what I'll say to people who are concerned about their businesses, on the one hand, it's like some of these places likely probably weren't gonna go with you anyway if they're rolling back. It like they're gung ho and excited. They probably weren't gonna go with you anyway. Again, this was a vanity thing for them. This is because this was something that was on trend to do for a while. And so
Mhm.
that's why community is going to be really important and aligning with people that align with your values as a business owner. That's why I think it's very important for businesses and organizations to have core values, mission statements, things that are driving your work. You want to align with those people because those are going to be the ones that are going to sustain you long term. You probably don't want to really work with people who are being forced to work with you, right? Like, because at
Mhm.
some point in time, there's going to be some conflict there. You want some people that are going to be rocking with you because they believe in your product and they believe in your services, and they're not going to shy away every time there's some change in what's trending when it comes to equity and inclusion.
Mm.
Yeah, good point. Greg, do you have anything to add to that?
Okay, I think DEI in general has been a huge distraction to black-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, and I think it's all about convenience. When you think about the big box stores, you can easily go and shop and get the stuff that you need, but you have been able to get those things also at black-owned businesses, women-owned businesses for years. It might be a little less convenient as far as you having to like order online or find out where it is. And I had a friend actually recently just asked me about like some listing of black-owned businesses that are carried in some of these big box stores that we're trying to boycott because of the DEI initiatives. And I just think it's going to be interesting, and I think that this is a time for us to be able to refocus and focus on the businesses that matter, because a lot of this stuff has just been a distraction. And as you mentioned, the data proves that it didn't really make a huge difference when it came to jobs and things of that nature. So it's not really hurting our pockets from a employee perspective. And if we still have money to spend, we need to be spending it with businesses that are minority owned, women owned, and keep that going.
Yeah, and not to, plug my business, but this is why you need to be supporting entities like Shop Blackfest, because we are doing the work, boots on the ground, day in and day out, and it's not based on what's in and what's trending when it comes to our community. So that's just a little this is the time. If there are some community based organizations out there, look, you better show that shirt off. If there are some community based organizations out there that support um, equity, diversity, equity, and inclusion, then this is the time to rally behind them. So,
And, and
let,
before we wrap up this segment, I also want to name too, to make sure that it's clear that this whole topic and what's happening right now is so nuanced. And I want to make sure that the audience is clear about that too. Like before everybody just rushes to, want to boycott certain people or certain entities, to be clear that it's not so black and white what's happening, and
mhm.
especially with there being so much uncertainty with what's happening in the government and how certain entities and things are funded and what's going to happen, because we got to also think about that there are minorities that are working for these organizations in places that will ultimately be impacted. And so saying it not to say don't boycott, or to do or don't, but to really think through like the options and the impact from the full spectrum, and leave space for nuance and whatever their approach is, because it's not whatever people decide to do, it's gonna be somebody's somebody's gonna be harmed unintentionally by it. And again, that's where community is going to be really important, to rally around each other to support the folks who may be impacted the most.
Yeah, that's a great point. KP, that is a great point. So, to lighten this thing back on up, we are about to transition into my look. I got a couple favorite parts of the show, but this is the fun part. It's called Trend. Wait, can y'all say trend or trash? Trend or trash? All right, look. So, first up, we have Battle of the Coffee Companies. So recently, Starbucks decided to double their marketing budget because they've been losing market share. The word on the street is that their brand isn't hitting the way that it used to. And so they've decided to reimagine the words on the cup. You know how they write people's word names on the cups, right? They've got this new campaign going. So first, I want to show y'all this campaign, and y'all tell me what y'all think. And then I'm going to show you a new up and coming coffee company that is making waves. So here we go. Let's see if we.
I want to know how much they spent on this. Because I have so like, what is here? Like, what? Nothing about that made me want to go to Starbucks. Like, it would have been better if they were literally writing people's names or something. Like, on there. That was used to be the big thing. But what was it like? Random good day.
I don't even know. That was terrible.
It would have been better as a Sharpie commercial.
See,
Okay.
I never understood the Starbucks hype. That's hilarious.
I don't even drink Starbucks, but I just wanted to show y'all. So, because we gotta keep it moving through these segments, right? But there's a new coffee company. It's called Brooklyn Coffee House, and overnight they went from 0 followers on social media to close to 40,000 followers because they started a content series to promote their coffee brand. Y'all got to check this out, because just check it out and then tell me what y'all think. Okay, here we go.
Businesses.
What makes you think we're POC?
Oh, sorry. It's just you look.
I'm 3% Norwegian and 2% Australian.
And I'm 3.8% Swiss German.
And I'm 100% sorry. And the rainbow is so vibrant. And not the gay, sorry, LGBTQIA plus 2C. B rainbow is not.
What can I get you?
I will have the toasted dandelion azuki bean latte with, what milks do you have?
Today we have sesame, hemp, split pea, macadamia, and water buffalo.
I'll have a water buffalo.
That'll be an extra $10.
Really?
We source our milk from a single water buffalo who spends his days pondering over the pastures of Idaho.
You guys run such an ethical business.
You guys?
I hate misgendering people. What are your pronouns? Because let me tell you, if I get them wrong, I will slam my head onto this counter.
I go by all pronouns.
I go by none. I prefer people just point at me. Too much.
She, her, they, we are feeling. As a cis, het, straight white man who has done white collar crime, I want to lead with inclusive language. You know what? I don't even want to lead. I want to follow with inclusive language. Listen and learn.
That'll be $17 plus $8 in privilege tax.
What is privilege tax?
We charge $2 per privilege, and you have them all.
That is amazing. That you do that. Bad that I have the privilege, but I get it. I know how I love.
You look like you host a podcast.
I do. May I? It has 2.1 stars on Spotify. A new record.
White is the coldest color. How to use your pale privilege for good.
Mood.
Where is the coffee? I'm waiting on the coffee. I'm gonna go with you. It's providing. It's people going. Like, it was one of the riskiest commercials I have seen in a very long time. I'm intrigued. I would, if you didn't tell me that they had something to do with a coffee shop, I would think it's a promo for a comedy sketch shop. But it's hilarious. And it's poking fun at all the target audience of coffee shops, the Gen Z, millennials, zillennials, and all of the things.
Yeah. So this is a trend to me, because it's stepping away from traditional marketing, especially when you're like launching a new product or opening a store. In this case, a coffee house. And basically they've done a scripted series. So those are characters, and it's all scripted, and there's like 10 episodes so far. And in each episode, people are coming into the coffee shop. So y'all got to check it out. But to me, that's a trend. Greg, any thoughts before we move on? And we got somebody. Oh, what's up, Bernard? Thanks for joining us. What are your thoughts? So you said y'all both said trend.
Yeah, I think it was funny. They definitely are speaking to their audience directly. And, whether you're offended or not offended, I think that they crossed the line in a good way. Mm-hmm. And it's giving me early 2000s Super Bowl commercials. Like, they're actually funny. They're actually going for it versus trying to play it safe and do some stupid slapstick comedy stuff. So I love it.
Okay. So I'm going to do one more trend or trash story, and then the next section of this show, or next up is SOS. SOS, please somebody. So we are going to help a business owner out, y'all, with some marketing advice. So they'll be joining us so that we can give them some advice when it comes to their business and how to move forward with whatever issue they have. So here we go. We got one more SOS. I mean, one more trend or trash. So the company Dove, right? Y'all know Dove soap. They
Yes.
recently dropped a campaign video using Kaya's My Neck, My Back. Yeah, they did. They did it. So let's take a look.
This when you move your body, feel confident. All my ladies try this deal real quick. Let your body how you see fit. My neck, my back, my legs and pits, all that. My neck, my back, your thighs will be intact. My neck, my back, I smell so good, they ask. All my ladies roll your deal like this.
So we got trash, trash, and trend. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like hip hop being used in a way that doesn't feel authentic. And to me, it was a little cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
Very
This is why DEI matters. They didn't have nobody of color in the room when they made the decision, and then the rest of those people in the commercial, those are just actors. They just were told what to do.
I feel like
Was that Kaya actually singing the song?
no.
No.
I said trend because it didn't. Y'all are gonna remember that commercial. Like I'm not gonna forget that, because they invoke like the nostalgia. It was a hot song, but I do agree. I agree with T sentiment. I don't like that. And my first thought was when I saw that it wasn't Kaya, was like, who cleared this? Like I would have loved it even more if Kaya was actually like
Mm-hmm.
doing it, because it would have that would have been Super Bowl level to me. It would have been like surprise, like nothing got my girl out here talking about my neck, my back for a Dove commercial. But I do think I said trend because it was that ridiculous. It's like
Definitely memorable.
Yeah, I feel like if they would have put some coins in my girl's pocket, like you said, credit to the original. I'm sure she probably got some type of licensing. Like I don't
hopefully,
hope
hopefully
hopefully, but the song is over. Ooh, is it over 20?
Gotta be.
over 20 years.
It can. Oh lordy.
I don't know about y'all, but I was in probably single digits when it came out. So
Yeah.
maybe it is over 20 years.
Okay, so we are about to move on to the last part of our show called SOS. And up next, we have a business owner. She is in the financial literacy industry, and she has a question about marketing for her business. So let's have Stephanie Johnson join us on stage. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hi, I am excited to be here. Y'all had me dying laughing, like watching backstage, hilarious. And I was participating with the trend of trash. So I like that. That was
Did you
fun.
like did you like the last commercial with Kaya?
Just say I agree. I agree that it was so terrible that I'm definitely going to remember it. But they should have used Kaya. We would have appreciated that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this part of the show, we use it to help our people out. So, Stephanie, tell us a little bit about you and drop it on us. What is your question for today?
Well, as you stated, I am in the financial industry. I am also a mom. I am here in Tennessee, and my business is a service based. So it does require me to get leads. It does require quite a few of marketing strategies. And I just basically assist families across the country when it comes to their finances. So it's whether it's credit, whether it is budgeting, savings, just setting up your assets and protecting them. That's basically what I do. But my question is like with doing this and which, you know, again, it's about leads. My question is, what is the most effective, low cost marketing strategies that new businesses can use to build brand awareness to attract customers? That is the question, because we have social media and things like that. But what are the most effective, low cost strategies that you guys suggest?
Well, before we jump in and start giving advice, can you let us know what strategies or tools that you have already used and tried, or didn't like that much? What have you been doing?
Yes. So, of course, social media is like the number one tool that I have used for the past 4 years. Of course, email marketing, as well as I have even done billboards and things of that sort. And just maintaining those relationships. But I'm like, what is it that I'm missing? Because I'm taking them from social media and creating that relationships through email campaigns. But what other strategies that I don't have to really, spend a big budget on that you guys could kind of suggest to get, to build more relationships and help these people out?
Yeah. Does anybody want to chime in first?
I'll hop in. So, uh, I said something similar in the on our last show. I think going back to the basics is always helpful. So, like going to where the people are, community events. What are things that you naturally like to do? You said your parent, like meeting folks at your kids' schools or events that you have for your children. If you're somebody that likes going to the gym, like connecting with folks there, like the spaces that you're organically in, talking about the work that you're doing as you're meeting folks, but just actually being present in spaces. And then it's always helpful to, have some t-shirts or, something with your brand that'll have people kind of want to ask you about what it is that you do in your services. But I'm somebody that thinks that those face-to-face connections are tried and true.
Yeah. What about you, Greg?
I would agree with that. Only thing I would add would be like speaking engagement. So like any type of community focused, what is it called? The parent something society, like whatever. Is it PTA? I'm like, what is the what is the thing?
You ain't
No,
got
I
no
ain't got no
kids,
kids.
child.
But make some type of introduction about yourself and what you have to offer. I think that would be a great way. And then like really, getting on panels and things of that nature as like a shameless plug. I think that would be a great way. What's the guy that we watch? Gary V says that's like one of the biggest ways that he gathers leads is like just doing speaking engagements.
Yeah. So I'm going to go in a different direction. And I'm going to suggest this. So have you ever tried a challenge? Like having people opt into what am I computer doing whatever it wants to do right now. Have you ever had people opt into a challenge, like a financial challenge, so a budgeting challenge, or let's say planning for a house, like your down payment for your house, or something seasonal? So you've done that before. What was the challenge that you did?
I had a budgeting challenge last year, in my budgeting group where I do educational things. But yes, it was a budget challenge where we started at the beginning of the year last year. So I'm just trying to figure out how we could put this into the community because that was an online thing. So now maybe implement that in the community where more people can get involved in it. So that's actually a good suggestion, because I forgot about that.
I like that too. What she said.
Did
And
you now was it a free challenge?
Yes, it was free to be in the budgeting
What?
group. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it was free. So basically it was a budgeting group, and I put it out there, and for everybody that wanted to be in it, we had a start date. And once you're in it, it's like we have like weekly challenges that we do for a certain amount of time. And then at the end of the challenge, of course there were giveaways, and that was everybody could showcase like what they accomplished and things like that. So I forgot that I did that. So now I need to implement that outside of social media into the community, like you guys are suggesting.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
some advice on places that you can
Yeah.
get that in person is like church groups,
Mm-hmm.
um, the PTA, like like Greg was alluding to, even community centers, like
Mm-hmm.
that, like third spaces that have people that are looking for things like that. If we were talking about coffee, if there's a local coffee shops are becoming a big thing. A local coffee shop, sometimes they're looking for things to engage folks that are coming in often. Maybe partnering with the local coffee shop to host like
Yes.
a a gathering there, because and they'll likely want to do that for free because you're going to be introducing them to business.
Yes. Great
Yeah. So
suggestion.
I was just gonna say with the challenge. So you said it was free, and it sounded like you said it was like over a course of a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I would
Yes.
suggest like condensing it and saying, okay, you can opt in to this free challenge for you're gonna spend some time with me and my team of experts for this day, right? It's like a boot camp. But
Mm-hmm.
on the back end, you can email and text, and all the people that are opting in for free, you can say, upgrade, become a VIP, and you'll get these extra tools, and you'll be able to hang with me for 3 days. And then I know that you have like memberships and other
Yes.
products that you're providing. You can upsell those products as well. But going back to your initial question about, how do you transfer people from social media to uh, actually going through your, now this is a technical term for people who are watching, but your funnel, basically
Mhm.
taking them from when they first find out who you are to actually becoming a part of your community and
Right.
eventually a customer. I would suggest really narrowing down what you're using social media for. So I know that you post a lot of content. I would suggest taking that content and focusing on one single call to action or one
Mhm.
single thing that you want them to do for let's say a month or 2 months, 3 months, and just test it out. Like it could be sending everybody to a particular freebie, with like a cheat sheet, a budgeting checklist, a save for your house, do this in 3 weeks checklist, whatever it is, and then really, really focusing all your attention and your resources to that one thing that people seem to gravitate towards and getting them from point A, which is social media, to you actually getting their contact information.
Okay. Got
What
it.
what are your
Because
thoughts about that?
I agree. One of the things that I actually started this year was the community. So what you're saying is basically like confirmation to keep going with that, and in that community, focus on something that, like for instance, because I had the community and I had like different things I wanted to focus on each week. But I'm thinking now that you said that in the community, let me pick one thing and like really really put it out there about that one thing to get people to get into the community. And home ownership is like what everybody is, in my community are looking to do. So let's
Mhm.
talk about that in the community and focus on that one thing. So that's a good idea and confirmation as well.
Yeah, and I'm a wrap up, but I just want to say because this is something that I'm guilty of as well. It's like the shiny object symptom. So we'll try one thing, then we'll hop over to something
Mhm.
else, and then we'll try this, and we'll forget about all the work that we put into um, what we're putting out there. But we really need to listen to our customers and listen to the people that are gravitating towards us, And the other thing is like people get overwhelmed with information. So I know one of my problems was like I tried to give my people everything at once. And it's like, bro, I'm trying to keep my head above water, T. I just need to focus on one step at a time. So if I were you, I would focus on like what's that one step that you want to help people with right now, and then just create different products or focus on the products that you have around that one step. Anything else that y'all want to add before we wrap it on up? Is
You
that
did
it?
that.
Oh. Yeah, all right.
To me.
Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us on this SOS segment of the Tanisha Westbrook Show.
Thank
I hope
y'all.
this
Thank y'all.
I hope this advice was helpful.
Thank you.
All right, so y'all done hung with me another hour of the Tanisha Westbrook Show, and I'm not gonna hold you. I had a good time tonight. What about y'all?
Yeah.
Shout
I
out
always have a
to
good time.
look, you always have a good time. I was about to give you a shout out.
he gotta say that. Y'all, he gotta sleep next to you tonight.
I want to shout out Greg for joining us as a guest on the Tanisha Westbrook Show today. I think you did a phenomenal job. Clap it up. With your I got something to say. So thank you for joining. And of course, KP, thank you as always for joining. If you don't know, the Tanisha Westbrook Show is bi-weekly. So we will see you all again on February 14th. Is that Valentine's Day? February 12th. No, February 12th. We will see you in 2 weeks on February 12th. Again, thank you for watching the Tanisha Westbrook Show, where we break down the hottest stories in marketing, branding, and business. And I hope that you got at least one piece of inspiration or knowledge from watching us today. Thank you. We signing out. Peace.